We're joined now by the Senior Director of Government Affairs for Agricultural Retailers Association, Hunter Carpenter. Hunter, thank you for joining us.
Happy to do it, Mike. How are you?
Very good. You know, over the years, glyphosate has been challenged and reviewed and challenged and reviewed, and it's like, here we go again. Another round of challenges and more review of the product. Bring us up to date. What's the latest? Where do we stand with glyphosate?
Well, that's right, Mike. It's certainly a product that's widely used and has been reviewed a number of times at EPA, continues to be used throughout the ag landscape. And right now, you know, it's still a tumultuous time across the country with court cases, being brought, class action lawsuits. And we certainly see that right now before the Supreme Court with Monsanto versus Durnell. And we continue to watch that closely and hope for some sort of, findings in our favor with the opinion coming out of the court sometime expected this year. ARA did write an amicus brief earlier this spring, and we anxiously await for the court's opinion.
It's often been said, especially in ag circles, that no product has been as scrutinized as glyphosate, and so far it has passed that scrutiny. But yet there are critics of it, and there are concerns that are raised about its use. Has there been any new developments, any new findings, anything new evidence that would change the view one way or another?
Look, I don't think we need new evidence to know that when it's used according to the label, it's a safe and effective product. There have been decades of studies and reports and findings under FIFRA, and which is the gold standard of pesticide regulation really throughout the world. And I don't think anybody should have any hesitancy around the product's efficacy and how it works on farm.
I think you hit the key phrase, and I think Secretary Rollins has been stressing this as well. When used according to label instructions, that's still the key, isn't it?
Well, yes, sir. And, you know, the label is federal law under FIFRA. And so when you misapply or use off-label, then you are in violation of federal law. And I think that's what a lot of people miss. But it's a safe and effective product, and we hope to have its use continue for many years to come.
Okay, so what's the next step? Kind of give us the timetable on this now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of hard to crystal ball what the timeline is for the Supreme Court decision. It could come as early as the summer or maybe into fall. But I think that we will know a lot more after that case is decided, and we'll see where we go from there.
There's always this question about what happens if farmers lose glyphosate as a tool. What then? That's a big part of this discussion too, isn't it?
Yes, sir. But if you look at where the registrants are in the process of bringing new products to market, it takes close to $500 million of investment and over 10 years of studies before a product is ever approved for use by EPA. And so we fully expect the registrants to continue coming up with new chemistries and products that work. They are rigorously tested under the standards of the Office of Pesticide Programs. And so there have been instances in the past where products have not been reapproved, and they continue to come up with new chemistries that are safe and effective.
Well, that was where I was kind of going. Do we have something now or in the pipeline that could replace glyphosate?
I do think that there are a number of products that have already passed some of the initial tests at EPA, and they're waiting to get final approval. Some of those are herbicides, some of those are insecticides, fungicides, or rodenticides. We're waiting for final approval on a lot of these products. The Pesticide Registration Improvement Act is up for reauthorization here in the next couple of years, and we expect that to go through, and which will help bring new products to market. But I think that the registrants are continuously looking to find new ways to help growers beat back some of the pests, in any realm that you talk about, whether that is weeds or insects, et cetera. So we fully expect EPA to come through with new registrations of products, hopefully in a timely manner. There's a lot that are waiting in the queue right now for final approval.
We're talking with Hunter Carpenter, Senior Director of Government Affairs for the Agricultural Retailers Association. Speaking of EPA, how's it been working with EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin compared to past administrations? What's your working relationship with this EPA?
Well, I won't say anything about past administrations, but Administrator Zeldin has been fantastic. He's got a really talented group of folks over there at EPA, both the career and folks on the political side. They've been very helpful on things like, over-the-top dicamba use and other product issues that have been going on. He's in a tough spot. Obviously, whenever you are a political appointee, and I don't care if it's in a Republican or a Democrat administration, you're sort of under a microscope, and you have folks on both sides of an issue pulling you one way or the other. And, it's a tough job, but he's done a fantastic job over the last couple of years. And we have a great working relationship with him and his team. They're doing a great job.
Well, you were very diplomatic in not talking about past EPA administrators, but so the lines of communication sounds like they're pretty open with this one.
Yes, sir. That's a great way to put it.
Very good.
He listens, and his team is quick to respond.
Wanted to get your thoughts, too, on this proposed merger in the rail industry between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern. I know ARA has concerns about it.
Yes, we do. And our CEO, Darren Kopic, did pen an op-ed, and you can look that up and share it. But we have grave concerns. There is a track record when it comes to consolidation in the rail lines, and it's not good. You look at past mergers, what it ultimately means is that there's less competition. And we are not trying to disparage any of the parties involved that are applying for the merger. In fact, if there were other rail lines that we're trying to merge, we would probably be against those too. But we have joined to stop the merger coalition here in town. And we want to make sure that the lines of product availability for our grower customers continue to remain open. We want to be able to get on-time delivery of product to the farmer because at the end of the day, they need those products in a timely manner. And ARA is committed to standing up for our members so that they can move product and get delivery to their customers as soon as possible.
When do you think we'll get a decision on this?
There was an application process which was then sent back from the Surface Transportation Board to the applicants to correct some parts of their application that needed to be changed. And that has been resubmitted, and they are continuing to review that right now. But your guess is as good as mine as far as when a final decision will be made on the merger. But we're still a little early in the process.
And before we let you go, what are you hearing on a new farm bill?
Well, it just kind of came out this morning on AgriPulse that Chairman Bozeman has delayed releasing text, and so it looks like a markup is likely in July and then possibly up for a vote, I would imagine, after they get back from August recess. At that point, you're still under a deadline of September 30th to get an extension done or to pass the new bill. The House has already passed their bill on a bipartisan vote. Very pleased with a lot of what got into that piece of legislation. And we're hopeful that the Senate will move quickly because, we're way overdue for a new farm bill. But I fully expect Chairman Bozeman to release text here in the next few weeks. We think that a lot of our priorities make it into the bill, and we look forward to final bipartisan passage and getting a farm bill done this year.
You said a couple of words in there that stood out. One was deadlines, and what immediately jumped in my mind is Congress doesn't pay a lot of attention to deadlines. And the other word you used was quickly. Nothing seems to happen very quickly when it comes to Congress.
Well, yeah, we haven't gotten a full farm bill reauthorization since 2018. We've gotten a number of extensions, but like I said, the House passed their version, bipartisan support. Chairman Thompson did a great job moving his bill through the House. We want to thank him, thank Speaker Mike Johnson for all of their work on that. And so, we're looking forward to final passage.
Hunter, thanks for being with us. Appreciate the update.
Thanks so much, Mike.